Hi there, Kath Gammack, Rig Market Analyst with Westwood Global Energy. Here with a quick recap on some of the offshore rig market news during the period the 11th up to and including the 17th of April. During the past week, new contracts and/or extensions were secured for offshore activities in Nigeria, Brazil, Greece and Israel, in addition to a letter of intent for work in UK waters. ADIS secured a one-year extension to the drilling contract for its jack-up shelf drilling sector in Nigeria with Chevron, including a one-year unpriced option. The extension adds approximately $47.5 million to the company's backlog and will begin in direct continuation of the existing contract, which is expected to expire in July this year. Transocean was awarded an extension for 1,156 days with Petrobras for ultra-deepwater drillship Deepwater Corcovado to run in direct continuation of the current commitment. The extension is expected to contribute approximately $445 million in incremental backlog and will keep the rig working through November of 2030. However, from the 1st of April this year until the new extension begins in September of 2027, the existing backlog will be reduced by approximately $20 million. Dolphin Drilling announced that an undisclosed party has signed a letter of intent for a contract for midwater semi-sub Borgland Dolphin. The potential contract is expected to have a value of approximately $230 million and is scheduled to commence in the second half of 2027 in direct continuation following release of the rig from an existing contract with Repsol of Spain. The firm term runs through to the expiry of the rig's current special periodic survey in October of 2031, inclusive of MOB and DMOB, and is expected to have options for a further 5 years of work. The parties will continue negotiation of the deal pursuant to the letter of intent, which includes a termination fee of up to $3.8 million in favour of the company, and is subject to agreement and respective management approvals. Market sources indicate that the new deal will cover work offshore the UK. Further to the RigLogix report of the 4th of March, Stena Drilling confirmed the contract award for Energean's Sopus 1 exploration well in Block 2 offshore Greece. The single well programme, with operations estimated to run for 60 days, will incorporate managed pressure drilling and will be carried out by ultra-deepwater drillship Stena DrillMax. Drilling is expected to kick off in early 2027, with operations conducted in a water depth of around 2,756 feet and reaching a maximum drilling depth of more than 15,093 feet. The well will mark the first ever deepwater offshore drilling operation undertaken in Greece. Transocean secured a new award for its ultra-deepwater drillship Deepwater Asgard, which is currently operated in the US Gulf. The rig will undertake a new 5-well campaign in the eastern Mediterranean Sea with an undisclosed operator. The estimated 390-day campaign is expected to commence in the 4th quarter of this year and contribute approximately $158 million in backlog, excluding additional services and compensation for MOB and DMOB. The rig is currently working for Chevron in the US Gulf under a deal that is due to complete in the summer of this year. Odfjell Technology signed a 5.5-year firm term integrated services contract with ConocoPhillips in the North Sea. The agreement includes 2 additional options, each with a potential duration of up to 5 years. The scope covers platform drilling operations and maintenance services, tubular running services, well engineering, and well planning in Norway. The provision of downhole equipment and permanent plug and abandonment execution are also included as an option under the contract. Other activities over the past week saw Borr Drilling issue an update regarding its Middle East operations. Following the company's update on the 9th of March regarding its 4 rigs deployed in the Middle East, Jackup Arabia 3 resumed operations offshore Saudi Arabia in late March this year. Additionally, Borr has received notices to resume operations for the Groa in Qatar and the Arabia 2 in the United Arab Emirates, with both units expected to recommence during April this year. Borr's 4th rig in the region, the Forseti, which is operated by Noble under a bareboat charter, is also undergoing preparations to resume operations in Qatar. Further to our 7th of April news item, PV Drilling Jackup PV Drilling 9 has departed the Ho Chi Minh anchorage and is en route to the Son Dock field in Block 64/02. This deployment marks the unit's first contract following completion of its reactivation and upgrade programme. The client is Petro-Vietnam Exploration and Production, with the scope of work primarily consisting of P&A and workover activities, which are expected to run for approximately 2 months. Thereafter, the JU-2000E unit has free and clear availability and is being actively marketed. Following completion of P&A operations for DNO, Odfjell managed mid-water semi-sub Deep Sea Yantai has since departed the Vale location, formerly operated by Sval Energy, and mobilised to Wellesley Petroleum's Carmen appraisal well location, well 35/10-16S, in production licence 1148 of the North Sea. The rig will operate in around 1,198 feet of water and is expected to remain on location for a minimum of 60 days, with operations potentially extending to 80 to 90 days. Depending on actual well durations for Wellesley and DNO, Deep Sea Yantai is likely to remain active into the first quarter of 2027. And finally, BP has agreed to acquire a 60% stake in 3 offshore exploration blocks in Namibia from Eco Atlantic Oil and Gas, supporting its strategy to expand its upstream portfolio. Subject to regulatory approval from the Namibian government, BP will assume operatorship of licenses PEL 97, 99 and 100 in the Walvis Basin, offshore Namibia. Eco Atlantic will retain an interest in the licenses alongside Namibia's national oil company, NAMCOR, following completion of the transaction. Entry into these blocks builds on BP's recent exploration success in Namibia through Azul Energy, which partners with Rhino Resources in an Orange Basin license containing the Volans, Sagittarius and Capricornus discoveries. Completion of the transaction remains subject to customary closing conditions, including necessary approvals from the Namibian authorities and joint venture partners. That's it for this week. Many thanks for listening. Hope you find this of interest. If you'd like more information on RigLogix, please visit our website, www.westwoodenergy.com.